You're listening to the Frame100 podcast, a show by Brickfilmers for Brickfilmers.
And welcome back to the Frame100 podcast, the show that hopefully gets you closer to that next frame every time you listen. You're listening to episode 19 of the show. I'm Chris, known as Gold Brick Productions, here with Trevor, aka Student Ninja Nerd Studios.
Welcome to 2021.
Sam, aka Locker74 Productions.
Did you say 76 or 74?
I said 74!
Okay, I thought you said 76. That could be... Okay. Never mind. We good.
Now Sam's delusional.
We Gucci
I'd
fan.
like to think I've grown as a human being.
Well, okay.
Ed Marcus, aka Brick Hat Studios.
Hello there, welcome back.
Sam, I'm utterly insulted. We've known each other for how long?
Let's see. Oh, it's been about 3 years? 4 years now.
Yep, long enough.
It's been 3.
Actually, fun
Some
fact.
would say too long.
Fun fact. 2 years ago today, I was in Alabama meeting Jared for the first time in person at Brick Fair, Alabama.
Man.
That's right.
Gang.
Feels good and bad, man.
Yo, man. Oh,
Dude, I was actually thinking about that trip today, and like, that was a lot of fun. Like, just me and Jared just in the car, just yelling at the GPS because it kept taking us to the wrong place. We getting stuck in traffic, and then
That's the best.
he had to. I remember after Brick Fair, he had to go back to his hometown, and I was like, "All right, I'll chill in Birmingham. That's fine." And I ended up watching Adam's Family Values in my hotel room all night. Like, that's all I did that night, and I was like, that's a good memory. So it popped up on my Facebook and Snapchat today, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to share this. I found all the pictures, too. I took, like, 95 pictures of all the stuff I found at Brick Fair, like the creations and stuff like that.
Nice.
Dude,
Yeah.
I want to go back. Just to Alabama would be fine. Brick Fair, Virginia is... We're going to find out about that.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Yeah, no, that's one thing I've been coming to realize too with like the vlogs is that even though I know all, like, at least Chris and I edit the crap out of them to make them like memey and stuff, like there's still just so many awesome memories in there, and even if I wasn't uploading them publicly, I would still be really inclined to take video of everything because it's just you remember so many cool memories of just all the crazy crap that we've done, and it's really nice just getting to rewatch it.
I totally agree. Heck, I know people were making fun of me because mine's like nearly an hour long. I want to make mine longer if we meet up again.
Mine was an hour.
Yeah.
I still haven't uploaded part 2 or 3.
Yeah, get
Oh
on
my
that,
God.
Marcus. Like, that's kind of the fun thing, is sometimes I'll just pull up all our vlogs and just watch through them if I just want to remember the trip.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, Brick Fair 2020 certainly didn't happen.
Yeah, what?
And the hope is that... Oh, God.
Oh, I was gonna say, and we're coming up on 2 years since the three of us, minus this loser Sam over here, when we went and all saw the Lego Movie 2, which is crazy.
Yo, that
means,
was 2 years?
Yeah, coming up
the
on
Best
2
Friends
years.
Weekend, I call it.
Yo,
Best
I gotta
Friends.
rewatch that vlog then. Wow.
Exactly. I think it's like the...
that's another fun one.
Was that the 8th of February? I can't remember now. I'm gonna
I want
find
to say
that
it was
out.
February 8th. Yeah.
It was either the
The
8th
one
or
thing
the
I remember
9th.
is that...
Whenever the Lego Movie 2 came out.
Yeah, because we did happen to catch it the day of, which was nice.
Can I say something?
See, here's where I gotta have a little bit of a confession quickly. So, that Friday when I flew up, technically, I was supposed to be in my speech signal processing class, but I skipped it to go to the airport.
Let's
Skip
go.
To this day,
To be-
everybody thinks that the reason I wasn't in class that day was something research related.
I mean,
We're
it's
gonna
true.
keep the illusion.
Chris,
Yeah,
you know how many times I skipped
But
class in
it was
college?
about the research they intended.
I told
You
one,
probably skipped a lot more than I did. I never skipped an undergrad class.
I told my professor I had food poisoning and ended up driving to Joplin to get Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A is worth it,
That's
though.
how we. That's how.
Have
Actually,
you
it
skipped any
wasn't that day.
classes?
Let's see. Have I skipped? I know there was one. I really hope I hope fellow classmates of mine are listening to this, because I know this is a really funny story. There was it was actually Valentine's Day of last year. I was sick, and so I skipped most of my
Sick.
classes because I was sick. I had like some really bad like fever or something, like a virus. The clinic never even discerned what I had, honestly. But I had told two of my professors for two of the classes I had I wasn't going to be there. I hadn't told the third one because it was a very like blow off sort of class, and he never checks attendance. Well, somebody texted me like right before the class was ending that this was the one night he was actually checking attendance. So I ran up to the building and I sat out on like a bench, or I actually sat on a bench that was inside of a building across the street from the other one, where one of the professors who I was supposed to have that day happened to be.
Dude.
And
Proud.
like he asked me, he was like, "Oh, so you're not sick anymore?" And I was like, "No, I still am. I'm just hanging out here."
Oh my gosh.
Yo.
I don't remember this.
I walked into the building that I was supposed to be in, and I slipped into, because it was the class actually took place in one of the theaters we have on campus, and I took one of the seats in the back row. 5 seconds later, the man calls my name. I said here, and I slipped out.
Oh my god.
It was
Yo, clutch.
legendary. People clapped when they saw me there because everybody knew I was sick. It was
Way to go,
so
Trev.
funny. Yeah,
Well done.
that
Well
was a fun time. I don't
Oh,
recommend
goodness.
skipping classes. That I think the only times I've ever skipped was just because I just was tired and I couldn't make it because I had overslept or just didn't want to go. So I've
I
never
can-
skipped to like actually have an ulterior motive of going to do something else, like going out to Chick-fil-A or whatever.
Oh, I condone skipping classes. If you can get away with it, do it.
As someone
you would.
As someone who served as a TA, lab manager, and grader for several digital system design classes, I could say if you skip class or a lab in engineering, you're going to fall behind at least 20 years worth of engineering.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I've had students where they skipped lab and they come back like, yeah, so what we do? And I was like, well, if you were here, you would have figured it out. Have fun getting the next lab done.
Death.
It's like, if you were sick or if you had like a job interview or something and you emailed me, I'm totally fine. I'll help you out. If you just, wanted to go run off and go skiing or something, I'd be like, nah, fam, not happening.
I mean,
I didn't exactly give those kids time of day.
to be fair,
I
the
guess
class
for me,
the class I skipped was sociology, and nobody cares about
Yeah, who cares
sociology.
about that?
oh yeah, nobody cares about that.
Like my professor was like, I had really bad subway, I can't leave the toilet, and she's like, oh, you poor thing. All right, I'll take notes for you, and we'll see you on Monday. I was like, all right, and I got in my car and drove my happy ass to Chick-fil-A.
My goodness.
Worthy. That was amazing.
Legend
nah, for me,
status.
I think the only time I ever skipped, well, I mean, I skipped a lot of classes in college, but like the one that was the most funniest was actually back in high school. And it was like my senior year, summer's break's about to start, I'm about to graduate. And then I'm like, man, it was 7th period, last period. I'm like, I'm done with all my work already. I don't feel like going to class. And then my friend's like, yo, I finished my IB exam. I'm just going to go collect it. And then if you want, we can just skip our last period, go hang out. I'm like, cool. I'm going to go straight up tell my teacher that I'm skipping her class. So I walked in when the bell rang, and I'm like, hey, I'm skipping. And she was like, cool, I'll mark you down as like, you're in attendance. And I'm like, okay, cool, bet, I'm out, see ya.
That's
What
great.
a legend!
Yeah, I'm like, peace out.
Peace. All right.
Ah, that's amazing.
Anyway,
Stay in school, kids.
or do whatever you want.
Yeah, no, dude. Just
Uh,
don't let your
speaking
memes
of
be
doing-
dreams. Just do it.
Speaking of doing whatever you want, THAC.
Oh God, that you mean?
Yeah.
That's
We're back to
a
horrible segues.
that's a pretty bad segue because you can't do anything you want. I mean, you can in within reason, but you're on a clock there.
But I can.
Oh my God.
I can start.
No,
film,
Chris, you're not Thanos,
fall
and you don't
behind
have the
in
Infinity
animation,
Stones.
Make it look like Trev's gonna finish before me.
Mm.
Have 5 hours left with a whole minute's worth to animate, and still finish before you turn yours in.
Can I just say, I
Wow,
finished
you didn't-
both. I finished my animation before either of these guys even, like,
Started editing, like we were
Yeah.
nowhere close.
Didn't you finish at like 10 p.m. or 9 p.m.?
oh,
or
dude,
earlier?
if it's midnight and it's THAC, I'm going to bed. I don't care how bad my film looks, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, actually, to tell you, I have time stamped in our Frame100 podcast THAC stream. Which, by the way, thank you for everybody who joined us. You are all amazing. We appreciate the support. MVPs. I timestamped each of the times that we all finished THAC. So if I pause here, Sam had about 5 hours, 44 minutes left. So let's just round up to about 6 hours. Sam finished at like 1 o'clock in the morning, Eastern Standard Time.
Congrats! Wow.
Yeah, like I said, I'm one of those people where if it's THAC and it's like 12 or like 12:30, I don't care how bad my film looks. I will finish the minimal sound editing and be like, we're done. I'm out. Like,
Exactly.
and I feel really bad leaving these guys behind, but dude, I cannot
Sleep
stay
is
up late.
necessary. We are not.
Yeah, basically. And I have a dog that was like seriously upset with me that I'd spent the entire day in my studio. So she was like, "Hey,
Deservedly so.
Yeah.
come to bed."
Which is totally fine. The way I see it, if there's 2 people left and one of those people decides to drop, okay, that's maybe a little bit like, you can't just abandon your friend in combat. But I was just out of it. So I finished with 2 hours and 11 minutes left to spare. Let's round that to about 2 hours. So I finished around, say, 5 o'clock Eastern time. Trev, I got his timestamp here. This boy finishes at exactly 20 minutes and 3 seconds left.
Yes, sir.
So Trev finished at about 6:40 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Trev, how does this happen
So
every
my
year?
goodness, I had
I don't know. It's always. I'm 99% sure it's a matter of I always bite off more than I can chew,
That's
and
true.
that's how it happens. Next
what
year.
I think it is that you write a short script, but you spend so much time lighting and animating it. That's very
Yeah.
intricate.
Yeah,
But to your
I
advantage- Yeah. To your advantage, I think you have the best lighting and color palette out of all of our films here.
Oh, I know.
Like,
I know.
Sam, yours are pretty good at the space scenes for sure, but the rest is just sort of a you're just kind of hanging out in the bar, kind of vibing,
Yeah.
just painting the scene
Vibing.
nothing too dramatic.
I
You
did
had
my,
My
great
stuff
composition,
was
definitely.
I just
Like my stuff is just all over the place.
so here's my problem with whenever I do THAC, because I was like, I like to see my lighting is very dynamic, very cinematic, but when it comes to THAC,
Is it?
Trev, at least I have something to
You're
show
talking
for
to
it.
the dude who has shareholder stakes in Brick Stuff Lights.
Seriously,
You
like
got shares, right?
I actually bought like professional LED panel lights to light my set. Like,
Those are actually really good.
yeah, they're amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So don't be talking to me about that.
Ah.
But anyway,
Well, you didn't get
So-
to use them for THAC though, so
no, I didn't get them until like the day after THAC, which made me a little bit
I know.
upset. But
I'm,
anyway,
I'm excited to see you put them to work though.
I already have. So anyway, here's my thing with here's the difference between Ace Brickman and what I do in THAC. Ace Brickman, I spend hours, and I mean hours, trying to get the lighting right for a scene. Once I get it figured out, I can go no problem. But it takes me a while to get everything set up, and I don't with THAC. I don't have that kind of time. I'm just like, does it look well lit? Cool, moving on. I'm not like, the shadow isn't looking good right there. I need to try and move the lights this way. Oh, there's a glare on that torso. Move it that way. With THAC, I'm not doing that. I'm just like, does it look? Do you know what's happening in the film? Yes. Move on. I'm one of those people.
On the other side of the spectrum, Trev is that person.
So
Yep, yeah. I still was like looking for glare in a lot of spots, and like when I think the way I would factor it is whenever I'm working on like an actual legitimate project that's not THAC, I take about 99% of my energy and I put that into all of the aspects of the film. When it's THAC, that usually drops down to about 65-70%. But there's still those times where, I want to boost it back up to that 90. There's still those moments when you're putting all the lighting together and getting that to, just work as best it can. And you want to put in that extra amount of time, that amount of effort. So it's still hard to really balance that. But I got it done, so can't.
I will say, I will give Trev all the credit. He gets it done on time. He just is terrible at time management during
I'm
THAC.
really bad at time management.
Like, it's
especially
like
with THAC.
even I left at 8:30 to go have breakfast with my parents, and I was gone for an hour. I came back and was like, all right, let's start animating, and I got done before Trev. Let's keep that in mind. I also
I've got to get the script ideas to be shorter.
See, the
Because
good thing
I
about-
originally had like an extra pages worth of like dialogue in mine.
The good
which would have
news
not
with,
worked out.
The good news with my THAC, it's always Dr. Scar, so it doesn't take. I don't have to name characters. I don't have to think of characters. It's all Dr. Scar. I think that's where my plus is with THAC is I know what character is gonna be in it.
Mm-hmm.
What I like about THAC and why I really love it when you do THAC, Sam, is you're funny. Like, you're really, really funny. You don't see it in Ace Brickman so much, but when Dr. Scar gets on board, you write some great one-liners. And I love it.
I think my favorite one
You
from
just burned that to our audience's brain again.
my favorite. I think my favorite line from this one was, "What is your name, Jonathan?"
Jonathan.
Was not expecting that. My father named me. I think that's my favorite line. It's between that and I wanted to roam the galaxy and see people. You want to be an astronaut? Car salesman. I'm sorry.
Car
what?
salesman.
But see,
I
here's the
heard
best
those
part
so
of
many
the THAC
times.
live stream. Yeah, exactly. The best part of the THAC live stream is every few minutes you just hear, "Ah!" It's like the
Or-
new "You Are My Dad," which is the new.
No, we don't mention.
it.
What else were we laughing
We don't
about? It was
talk
like,
about that, Chris.
It was whenever we were animating and my guy said, "Look," and I was like, "When I see bird, look. When I see dog, look."
Such a bad joke.
What's the theme?
When I see the end of THAC, look.
Or
Look.
what was one I was like, I don't understand the theme, I don't understand, but you don't understand how THAC works. I don't understand what the theme is. God. Can we turn that? I'm gonna make a super cut of every single time I made a bad dad joke during THAC.
Please.
If you do, let me know, because I'm half tempted to make a supercut based off of the stream.
THAC
I'm tempted
highlights.
to lace in some of the THAC highlights I have. I know, Trev, you want to work on a THAC documentary, but the offer still stands if you want to make just a big monster and put it up on Frame100. But we can figure that out later.
We can figure that out later.
No pressure.
Logistics.
Yeah. It's all good, fam. Anyways, we got a lot of other topics to get into, so I want to quickly just do a quick round table. Everyone, think of your favorite THAC entry, but you can only describe it in 3 words.
Yes.
Ooh.
I'm going to pretend to give you guys time, but technically I gave you guys time before the show started.
I mean, you're right.
There we go.
I'll go first.
I'll go first.
Oh, never mind.
Actually, you go ahead.
Okay, I'll go
Initiate.
first.
Provide stragglers time. Go for it, Sam.
Okay, so three words, right? I mean, as well animated, like 3 words, or is that 2?
No, it's hyphenated.
Okay, 3 words. Well animated, well cropped, because I saw it on Twitter. He did a little behind the scenes, so like the set design and I guess is more than 3 words, but well cropped and well set decorated, and then surprisingly funny. I don't know if anybody knows what I'm talking about. Twig of Bricks. I forgot what it was called.
Leaving you.
Leaving you.
Not gonna lie,
Yeah.
I didn't get that the first 2 words I agree with. The last word,
It was funny. I liked it. It was just very funny because I didn't expect it. I didn't know I knew he was leaving his wife, but I didn't expect the wife to leave him first. It was very funny.
You have
I
experience
guess
in
that
that,
is
don't
one
you, Sam?
nature of humor. It is unexpected situations.
Situational humor is always the best.
That is true.
All right.
Anyway, that was
Cool.
mine.
All right, I'll buy more time. So mine is Seasons Change by Plastic Point Productions. I'm going to cheat for a second to say this is a film where I kept seeing it show up my sub feed and I kept thinking, oh, I'll get to it. I didn't watch through the whole entire playlist, otherwise I would still be here watching THAC entries.
Yeah, it takes
But
forever.
this one I was like, okay, this is pretty interesting, I'll give it a shot. And wow, I love it. So my three words would be let's see, vibrant, flowing, and somber. Vibrant because of the lighting and color. I really love it. Flowing because the scenes just kind of flow into each other really nicely, as kind of implied by the title. And somber because, well, the way he sticks to the ending, it kind of wasn't what I was expecting. It seems logical for sure, but it definitely wasn't what I was expecting, and kind of just made me pause for a second. So, yeah, Plastic Point, good job, man. I loved it, and I wish you all the best.
All right, my turn. So, my favorite was Penitence by Mr. Jacob Crow. 3 words: polished, tense, and clear. Very, very, very clear premise and visuals. Yeah. Thought it was really, really well executed, really well done. I totally recommend checking it out.
Nice. All right. You got it, Marcus?
Alright, so my favorite was a proposal by Chris. I might be butchering your last name, even though I've met you a couple times. Chris Witt.
Oh, thanks, Marcus.
Oh, I liked
I'm
Chris's
honored.
too.
I'm honored.
No, it's Win. You're right.
It's Win? I was right. Okay. Yeah, okay. So 3 words to describe it. Unexpected. I did not expect the date to turn into a Star Wars what's the name of those?
Tusken Raider.
Tusken Raider. Yeah.
Tusken
Sand,
Raider?
sand people, if you want to be politically correct, but yeah.
I'm not gonna...
Yeah.
Yeah, that was totally unexpected. I enjoyed the... I don't even know if I can find 2 other words, but I'm just gonna say I enjoyed the mirror shots.
Yeah.
That was
So
really
unexpected
interesting.
and mirror, maybe.
Mirrored. I don't know.
I could even be a noun too. You could just say, yeah, mirror.
Just
Yeah,
mirror.
just that awkward situation. It was like, okay, don't know what to do next. Now that the date has left. Yeah, that's about it for me.
Well, unexpected, mirror, awkward, it sounds like.
Also, so we've all rattled off all of our things. I know I'm not the first person to realize this, but there was a very weird amount of nudity this THAC. Like that was a constant.
I'm not
sort
prepared to
of
talk
theme.
about this.
That was
Not
just
prepared.
that was a weirdly constant theme just throughout a lot of the films. That and skeletons popped up a
Well,
lot.
Think about
Yeah.
it.
Dude, skeletons have been all over THAC.
Think about it though. Hang
What are
on.
you talking
Let's
about?
get into this. Let's think about this. When you change clothes, what are you?
You're nude. Yeah, that's fair.
See?
Mhm.
I'm not condoning naked brick films, but I'm just saying.
Nudist brick films. Sam
Nudist
is
brick-
he's
nudist-
going to
Nudist brick films. I'm not
Sam is going to pioneer the nudist brick film genre as we speak. Ace Brickman 3 is canceled. All we're gonna
you
get.
picked the worst possible person to pioneer the nudist brick film genre.
Mhm.
My good. I feel like there's something every year where there's like a bunch of weird films that all happen to have the same sort of element, like the same sort of weird element, and like they can't all be coordinated. They just can't. Like this year, it's definitely nudity.
Mm-hmm.
My first stack was definitely dead people. Chris Wynn definitely helped with that.
just to warning. Ace Brickman 3 is not canceled. Don't listen to Trev. He still hasn't made a deal to die for. So don't listen to him. It's still Episode 3 is still coming. I'm working on it very slowly. Shameless plug. Sub to my channel. Anyway, continue.
Don't listen to
I
him.
can't believe it took us a whole 25 minutes to make a deal to die for joke. We're falling behind.
You really are. I for one applaud it.
Can we just say, Trev, we are helping A Deal to Die For by these memes. Just so you know.
No, I know.
That's
we
what
don't
I've been saying.
Stop focusing on me. This is not a show about me.
You're a
You know what
host!
this is a show about? Lego. And speaking of Lego,
Segue!
That-
90th anniversary.
You couldn't have done that any worse, Chris. Jeez. You keep dropping your pedigree.
Frame100 is known for two things: horror film jokes and horrible segues.
Mhm.
Slap 2 wheels
And
on
dead
that,
Iron
call it a
Man jokes.
segue.
Marcus, I swear. My goodness.
What, Iron Man's dead?
Okay.
Smile.
Chris is dead.
Chris is literally deep breathing right now.
Mhm.
Then breathe out.
I'm sorry, Chris.
Anyways,
I'm glad he died, though.
No,
so
you're
according to
not.
an article
You're not.
by Brickset on January 17th, to celebrate the 90th anniversary of the Lego Company, the Ideas team wants us to choose a classic theme to be reimagined as a single new product to be released in 2022. And one thing I want to point out quickly, because a lot of people didn't quite catch this, single new product.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
As you can tell, there's going to be some salt incoming. 30 popular LEGO themes have been selected for us to choose from. And then there's some vote, it's popular vote, and we didn't learn anything from Athens about the fall of democracy. And yeah, there's been some interesting ones. Adventurers, Alpha Team, Bionicle,
Adventurers!
Nuts,
Adventurers!
M-Tron, Pirates, Rock Raiders, Space Police, Time Cruisers, Town Trains, a whole lot of stuff here.
Yeah.
Adventurers!
So, what's been interesting about this is... Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, so the four of us here, I presume, if we haven't actually voted, we have choices, in terms of what we would want. Do we want to rattle all those off first?
Oh, why not?
I mean, I
Yeah.
voted
Okay,
already.
well, since I brought it up, yeah, exactly. I voted already too. Since I brought it up, my three picks were adventurers first and foremost. Of course, I put myself on the chopping block here. Now I'm forgetting the other two I said. Dang it. I had said it was adventurers. I want to say okay. Actually, I gotta look this up. Somebody else take
I'm pretty
over
sure
the
you put studios on your list.
studios.
I'll
That's
go.
correct. Oh shoot,
Oh.
yeah, that was
Yeah,
my second.
Studios
pick.
was part of it? Oh, wow. I didn't
Studios
know
is
that.
a part of it, yeah. It was Adventure Studios, and God, what was the other one? It was
Ice Planet.
it was Space Police. That's right. Because
There we go.
I really like the Space Police 2 or 3. I forget which. The 2009 2008 theme. I
Space
love.
Police 3.
Yeah, Space Police 3. I love that theme. So getting to see some more of the classic stuff, I would love that. Yeah, those are my three picks. I I love how I put myself here on the chopping block and forgot all three. It's great.
It's okay. So I'll go. I did Adventurers because, obviously, I love
Adventures
Adventurers.
Gang.
Adventurers! I did Ice Planet, I think, just because...
This is a cool one. Mhm.
I mean, I don't remember it very much, but I know people want it, so I was like, I don't really care for any of the others. Sure. And then the last one was Studios. I just... A lot of it, like was it Rock Raiders? Rock Miners.
Rock Raiders. Yep. Rock Raiders.
Rock Raiders, yeah.
Anyway, I remember I had that one, but I don't remember a lot about it. I'd like to see that one, but I don't think it has a chance. And we'll get into the chances a little bit later, but those are my three picks. I just like Adventures. It's a set that I've always wanted as a kid. I never got as a kid. So now that there's a chance it could come back and I could actually buy one of those sets and feel that nostalgia again, I'm voting for it 100%. If I
did kind of get that with the haunted house though.
I mean, kinda, but not.
The references, yeah.
Yeah, it was only references. It wasn't like actual the builds. So I was like, yeah, if there's a chance we could get Adventures one, I'm gonna take it. But we'll get into like what we think will win later on.
Yeah.
So
So Chris, what about you?
Yeah, Chris.
Well, actually, I was gonna let Marcus go next.
Oh, well then, Marcus, what about
I have a bit of
you?
a monkey wrench.
You are a monkey wrench.
Okay, so my third pick, meaning my least favorite, I guess.
Out of the
Even
three.
though it's my personal favorite, I don't think it's gonna win. But it's like the classic castle.
Yes. Yeah.
I kind of want it, but at the same time, it's like we kind of get a lot of the castle elements in the current Harry Potter theme, so I
Mhm.
feel like that's not gonna win. But second, I would have liked to see Alpha Team
Mm.
because I enjoyed Alpha Team a lot when I was a kid.
Mhm.
But the biggest part, I think I have to agree with Sam and Trev here, is Adventurers.
Yes,
'Cause
sir.
I think the exploration theme of Indiana Jones and Adventurers, Johnny, they need to come back with that.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. Yes. All right, Chris, what's your monkey wrench for us here?
Let's hear the hot
So
take.
here's the thing: I didn't vote. I just straight up didn't.
That's fair.
If I were to have voted, Adventurers hands down number one.
Adam,
I don't really have any of these ranked from here on out, but Adventurers would definitely be a top pick. I think I'd also look at studios for sure. I mean, it's kind of part of the community we're in, and there's sets that I've
just a
wanted
teeny bit.
forever. Yeah, just a teeny bit. I
Mhm.
picked up a fair amount of studio sets in my time. I'd love to get the big studio one. I'd love to get Lego Backlot working again, the old studios-based web game, but that's not going to work. And then the last one, I'm kind of looking through the list. Alpha Team's pretty cool. Rock Readers, I think, would be pretty fun.
Mhm.
M-Tron just kind of speaks to me. My problem is that this list is very biased, and on top of that, what's been demonstrated with Lego before is that votes turn into mob rule,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm not a fan of. So to quickly rewind this back for a second, remember 501st Battle Pack?
That was a
Ooh.
thing.
That disaster?
Mm-hmm.
For those who may be unaware, a famous YouTuber known as M&R, who reviews Star Wars products and stuff, continually sent messages to Lego demanding a 501st Battle Pack, and all of his followers and subscribers decided, hey, what if we spam hashtag 501st Battle Pack on every post Lego makes? Now, you can debate whether or not that was a good idea for our fan base to do, but long story short, it got done, and Lego made a 501st Battle Pack. And so now we come into a scenario where Lego has acknowledged that a mob can just get together using Lego social media, throw down some votes, and Lego will cooperate. In a sense, it's weird because it's like this is Lego trying to control that mob mentality into a voting system. Now, here's the thing: of all these themes here, which one has the biggest and most passionate fan base and has been repeatedly snubbed by Lego with many different attempts, including a full-on series reboot, who could rally enough people to overthrow every other vote through just sheer mob mentality?
M-Tron?
Oh, I wish.
Yes, M-Tron. Totally
Yep.
M-Tron.
I knew it. I knew it.
No,
Oh, no, sorry,
it's
it's
Bionicle.
Paradisa. That. Oh, wait, never mind. Sorry.
I would love for it to be Parodies, honestly. No, it's
Yeah.
Bionicle. And, here's the thing. I'm gonna choose my words very carefully here. Bionicle's pretty cool overall, but it has two things with it that set it apart from this list. Number one, it had a big, long story. And number two, it was one of the very few themes that Lego killed and immediately brought back due to popular fan demand. The other one being Ninjago with the rebooted series.
Mhm.
And the thing is, the Bionicle fans have been repeatedly snubbed by Lego. First with G2 and how horribly that failed. Secondly, with the Lego Ideas project submitted by a community member. That was a really cool project, honestly, and I know the guy. Pretty great dude. But Lego snubbed that in the Ideas review process, and the community responded fairly negatively. And the way Lego has phrased their tweet, where they say, quote, or even Bionicle, as under the quick little list of themes that could be revived, almost seems like they're issuing a challenge of sorts to a very jaded and, in many ways, frankly, toxic fan base. There's been this very interesting dynamic, and we've already seen a mob forming the discussion is no longer about which classic LEGO theme best represents the community interest, or which best represents LEGO's journey, or which inspired the most people to get to the genre. In fact, if anything, you could argue that all these themes could be represented in some way. But to have a vote and to take advantage of the big and massive community fan bases with all their different factions, LEGO's got to be doing this very deliberately. They have to know the power of this Frankenstein's monster they created.
I think they do. I think they do. But I don't.
I can only conclude that they do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're in the aftermath of the 501st, and LEGO knows that they snubbed the Bionicle fans. They're well aware of it. The thing is, though, it's a niche enough of a fan base that it doesn't threaten any of their other product lines. Like, say, if they were to try and cancel Ninjago, yeah, there would be no more LEGO after that.
Mm-hmm.
But they canceled Bionicle, it's all said and done, and they can keep teasing opportunities like this to keep the Bionicle fan base interested enough. Which is intriguing. Where are they going with this?
Yeah, like, I know for me personally, when I look at this whole list, it's interesting because almost all of these, all of the themes mentioned on the list have had a sort of spiritual successor in some way, shape, or form, or has been rebooted in a sense. Adventurers had Pharaoh's Quest, Alpha Team had Agents. All of the space stuff has been pretty iterative over the years, with like Space Police, even for example, getting 2 different series following the first run of the sets. So it's like we've seen that a lot of these, that almost all of these, in fact, have gotten rebooted or revisited in a certain sense. And it's partially why I would prefer that something like Studios win, because it's just something that we haven't seen in such a long time. Granted, I know Studios is not going to win just because it's very near and dear to us as Brickfilmers, and I'm sure that most Brickfilmers would want that to sort of revisit that. But I'm very doubtful just based on how impactful the series or the set of sets was. I know there's not enough there to warrant people to really, really, really lobby behind that one winning. Yeah, it's a very weird sort of situation with what's going on.
It's this weird dichotomy of all these themes that have had pretty good run times, and as you said, reincarnations.
Mm-hmm.
Bionicle was killed, brought back by LEGO. I'm not talking about G2, I'm talking about the 2003 reboot. They're going to kill it right there and then. Fan demand brought it back immediately for 2004. Again, the only other theme that's ever happened to was Ninjago, when they transitioned from the final battle to reboot it.
Yep.
But then after Bionicle ended, and they brought back G2, only to kill it again. I mean, as respectfully as I can put this, the fan base is pretty jaded overall. Understandable, but it certainly hasn't manifested into any, shall we say, positive action? Question mark?
Mm-hmm. It's when, like, for me, I was never that big of a Bionicle fan. I own 2 of the sets. I didn't get into LEGO until very much after Bionicle was kind of said and done. I think I was only into it for like the last 2 or 3 waves of sets that they had released for Bionicle. So I've never really been a part of the community, nor have I really cared much about the sets themselves. I read plenty of like the comics, and I kept up somewhat okay with the story. Like I've seen some of the films and whatnot. The films are horrible, but you know that's another topic for another day.
Ballsy.
But whatever. It's my opinion. People can disagree. That's perfectly fine. But it's like I know a very baseline amount of information about it. For me, I was a Hero Factory person. Like that was right when I got into LEGO, was when Hero Factory was sort of coming in and taking over it was filling the shoes of Bionicle. I never attempting to, yes, very much so. I had a couple of the sets from like the first wave. I didn't really have anything else after that, but like I watched the it was like direct to DVD home videos is what they did, right? Or did they do like a series? I can't remember.
Yeah, so this kind of got into a bit of a gray area.
Mm-hmm.
Lego had a whole bunch of different like mini like series or TV specials planned, Ninjago being one of them initially. And Hero Factory kind of quickly fell into that routine. When Ninjago took off and became like a full-fledged TV series, it seems as if Lego tried to retroactively make that a reality for Hero Factory. It did not work.
Yeah.
I have some Hero Factory DVDs on my shelf. They are occupying valuable space that could be used for better movies, like Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah, man!
Anything Martin Scorsese's been working on. I'm sorry, I had to throw that out there.
Oh,
Anything by Christopher Nolan. Oh my god.
Tenet? Like, get rid of Hero Factory Savage Planet and throw in Tenet.
Nah, put Venom in there,
J.K.
man.
Nolan, I love you.
Venom.
I didn't
But,
know
I hate
Hero
all of
Factory
you.
had a show or a storyline to it.
It did.
It did.
Here's where it got a little bit crazy. Towards the end, the theme just was not doing well.
Mhm.
CCBS had taken off as like a structure for building things, like within the Bionicle community. And someone was building Bionicle parts with the new CCBS collectible character building system or something.
I don't know.
And basically, they stripped the life out of Hero Factory and left all the Hero Factory behind, basically. So it faded out with like a quick couple of webisodes or something and just died immediately. And that's when Bionicle came back to take its place. So it took the new CCBS system that Hero Factory had pioneered and rebuilt it into the Bionicle structure.
Mhm.
However, where Hero Factory tried a story, even though they got the life drained out of it, but Bionicle G2 like didn't even try. They did a Netflix series, but that was about it. It was
Yeah.
what, 4 episodes?
That's like the problem when you have products based off of a story. Like if you're a main character, like the problem with Bionicle with the whole storyline with like the comment and all that, like the Web of Shadows, all that 1, 2, and 3.
Mm-hmm.
It was sort of like this, what is it? Time loop kind of thing, sort of movie. Or not
So
time
it
loop,
was
but like it started like
a
at the
prequel.
like you started with the end and then you see how it goes backwards or something like that. I don't know how to explain that.
It was a prequel, basically.
Yeah, it was a prequel. Yes,
How the
yes,
end
exactly.
began.
So if I might quickly like spin off for a second, I'll get right back to you, Marcus. The first 3 years, 2001 through 2003, were what is known as like the Metro Nui Saga. So it was the original Toamata, the original like Technic sets. Things are Gucci. Lego decided to close it. Fans are all no. So they immediately kicked into 2004, 2005 with the Metro Nui Saga, which is that flashback prequel with
Yeah.
the combat that you were just talking about.
Yeah, I felt like that's what the G2 or not the G2 fans, but like the Bionicle fans wanted from G2, but they didn't give that, and they're like, okay, so that nostalgia factor wasn't there for them.
Not even close.
Yeah, so that's why it kind of all fell apart.
Yeah. It's interesting because Lego had to have known that bringing back Bionicle and stripping it away of the lore, the complexity, because, like, here's the thing. I know a lot of Brickfilmers don't care about Bionicle. I've kind of mostly phased out of it, period. But to be fair, Bionicle had, like, a really impressive and intricate storyline.
Yeah.
At the risk of angering an entire fan base, it was way more complex than Ninjago. Ninjago doesn't even hold a candle to the innate layers of lore than the Bionicle series.
I wouldn't
So
know.
Lego had to have known they had no chance at G2. And they had to have known it wouldn't have gone over very well. And they had to have known that this, like, weird, very non-system theme that has become popular doesn't fit into their current model today, which is entirely bricks and minifigs. So to wrap this all back, based off what we said, like what Marcus mentioned, the nostalgia's not there. What Trev said, the successor couldn't happen with it. And what Sam said, Blade Runner 2049 is fantastic.
Well, okay, so I
I'm
got...
trying to factor in a comment here.
I don't really have anything positive to say because I was never a Bionicle person.
You know, just go for it. Why not?
I know there's a story behind Bionicle, but when I was a kid, I didn't care about the story. I was like, okay, these things look cool. That's okay. And then I discovered actual bricks, and I was like, yeah, you can't do a lot with these. You can make your own creation, but it's nothing compared to what you can do with the bricks. So I think that's where it comes for me is like, with the Bionicle stuff, and I'm out maybe upset, you just can't do a lot with it. you can brick film with it, you can animate with it, sure, but like you can't really let your creative, I guess, mind go with it. Whereas bricks, you can make whatever you want.
It's pretty limited, yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So I'm sorry to any of our fans who are Bionicle fans, but I'm just not a fan. Same thing, I'm not a fan with Ninjago. Maybe it's because I don't relate with the story, but I just don't. It's not that I don't. It's not that I hate it. It's just I don't enjoy it.
It's not your cup of tea.
Yeah, I don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's not something I grew up with.
I that's very much how I am. Like, I know I will speak to the fact that it's kind of crazy. Like, Bionicle was for Lego what Nintendo was for video games back when it started out, because when, you know, like people nowadays, when they talk about like the NES or the SNES, they never mention that it's the NES or the SNES. They always just say Nintendo. They played Nintendo back in the day. Bionicle and Lego are very much in that same sort of relationship where they feel kind of like two completely different entities. Granted, they very much visually look like two completely different entities. But like, you know, I feel like everybody knows like everybody knows Lego, but everybody also knows Bionicle too. And they feel like two kind of separate things from one another. But it's interesting because like Bionicle saved Lego back in the day. Like Lego was back in a really bad financial struggle back in the early 2000s, and Bionicle, because of just how much fans were invested in it, were able, it was a way for Lego to effectively save their company because they were in such, you know, horrible monetary trouble at the time.
See, here's the thing. You're going to hear that phrase a lot from the fan base. Bionicle's the toy that saved Lego. Technically, no. So the complexities of running like a multi-bajillion-dollar corporation don't hinge on whether a single product makes profit or not. If that were the case, then Lego would have evaporated like at least 10 or 15 years before.
Galador would have killed Lego.
Galador definitely did help decimate Lego. Because seriously, you're going to hear like, yeah, Galador gonna killed Lego. Bionicle saved Lego. Not even close. Because Star Wars helped buy Lego enough time to figure out a direction that would take the company into like positive assets. Star Wars didn't yield any profit, which people are easily able to point out, but it kept the company going long enough to figure out what direction they were going. Theoretically, Lego could have just kept making Star Wars from then on out, and the company would have been quote-unquote saved. It'd still be there. But companies need to make profits, and so that's why they try to come up with their own in-house IP. Well, Bionicle was definitely an in-house IP, but it was still very much linked to that non-brick-built system that they were experimenting with back in like the weird 90s days. It was just weird. If anything, what you can say like really saved Lego was that the philosophy of Bionicle married to the system of bricks, aka Ninjago. I know people would be like, but Chris, Lego is making money and making profit buying time of Ninjago. Well, yeah, but like Lego as a company was incredibly revitalized by the existence of Ninjago, because they finally took the strengths of Bionicle that helped keep the company going, and the strengths of the brick, which is their legacy, and finally meshed into something that took the company in an entirely new direction. In some cases for better, and in some cases for worse.
It's sort of...
I gotta nitpick on that, because it's comments like that, where the mob, I'm gonna be a little bit abusive with this term, the mob, keep bringing up why Bionicle should best represent Lego for the 90th anniversary. And the thing is, Bionicle really doesn't. It's the black sheep. It's the one that a lot of kids didn't have interest in, because it wasn't bricks, per Sam's point. So, I'm baffled, first off, that Lego is making it very easy for the mob, again, I'm using that term, to push for Bionicle to represent them for their 90th anniversary. And on top of that, it's strange that of all the themes on this list, Bionicle is the one with the most complex story beats, the most fan reverence, the fact that it's resurrected. It's honestly sounding a lot like Ninjago. Which I find really interesting, that the most Ninjago-like theme on this list is the one that has a massive portion of the fan base, again, forming a mob to make this represent Lego for the 90th anniversary. What in the world's going on, I don't know for certain, but my goodness, something about this seems whack.
And it's also interesting, like, just talking conceptually about what this like what this 90th set is gonna be. Like, I'm not really sure what they could do for a lot of these. Like, are we just gonna get a complete re-release of whatever set they pick? Like, I don't know, they pick one of the bigger, like the larger adventure sets, and they just
down.
They take the entire, like, they don't change the build at all. They just update like prints and stuff, and you know, it has a little bit more polish to it because it's modern. You know, it's being made with modern machines and whatnot.
You know that gif of Fry from Futurama saying "Take my money."
Yeah, that's you.
Shut up, take my money.
Shut up and take my money. Yeah, I'm that person.
Like, yeah, I don't know if they'll just like completely re-release something, or if they're going to like kind of base a model. They're gonna make something new. It's gonna be based off of an old model, and then that's what they release. Or if they're just gonna make something that's like completely different. Like I don't know what they're gonna do, and I think that in itself is very interesting. And again, I find that the whole Bionicle thing, like, I don't know how that would fit in there. Just again because of how completely different the system is compared to what Lego does nowadays. So it's a bizarre situation. And to everybody listening, if you stuck around this far, go vote Venturers, or you're not our friend. Yeah.
We'll form our own mob.
Exactly.
The hashtag Frame100 mob.
Watch Star Wars still win. Watch Star Wars still win the vote. Because you can put
Star Wars isn't even on the list, but still
you
wins.
can put an other, like you can list
Wait,
an
seriously,
other.
you can put an other? Oh
you
my
can
God.
list an other.
No!
Watch Star Wars win again.
No!
It won that Brickheads vote too, which is ridiculous. How did it lose?
did!
How did it lose to Jaws? That's my like.
Jaws could have won.
Granted, Jaws is kind of a weird one to try and make a Brickheads off of. Like, I guess you.
I want a shark.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, you could do a Brickhead of a shark. Like, that's a weird pick. It was that, Lilo and Stitch, Minecraft, and Star Wars. We've already gotten Minecraft. We've already gotten up plenty of Star Wars. Lilo and Stitch, I think, would have been pretty interesting. When I think about it, actually,
Cool.
I kind of wish I had voted for that, because I think I voted for Jaws.
Wow,
But, you know, we're just stuck with Star Wars again.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Like, what's killing me, I don't even know. One quick thing before we transition, because same as our TPQ. On the blog page, they do have one set, like a picture of one set for each entry.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they'll just pick one set. Maybe they won't. No one's been clear. I guess we should wrap this up, move on to our TPQ for sure.
Basically, we're salty.
I'm very curious to see how this goes. I don't like mob rule. I don't like the idea that everything's so vague. And I can't help but think that Lego, based off of recent events, they know what they're doing, and the fan base has no heckin' clue.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just say this. Last thing is that they have to incorporate the set with their other products as well.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just have like the contraption parts. You need like actual bricks in that set. That's all I'm gonna say.
Which is another. Man, that could go down a whole nother path, but that'd just be community drama that none of us need. Alright. Sam, take us away with our TPQ.
Topic question of the week. What was it? Thought Provoking Question of the week. There we go. Alright, we back. So if you had to live...
Insert theme song.
Do we have a theme song? We don't think we have.
We can make a theme song.
We did...
The thought-provoking question of the week.
I usually try to come up with one. So
I told you guys we should have gone with death therapy.
No.
Anyways.
All right. So my question this week: if you had to live in one genre of a movie, what would it be? So, like, would you want to be in a war epic? Would you want to be in a sci-fi epic? Would you want to be in film noir? Would you want to be in comedy, a parody, whatever. Take it away, because I don't have my answer yet. So...
film genre.
Alright. I'll buy you guys some time. So, I would go ahead and say, like, near future sci-fi, but, like, specifically space. I'm talking, like, Interstellar, The Martian. My friend said, gotta watch The Expanse, but I don't have money, so right now it's just a pipe dream. But, like, I like the idea of, like, a near future sci-fi where Earth is kind of finally getting its act together. A novel concept. And now everybody's starting to get into space, but everything's still brand new and fresh. Everything's still pretty dangerous. Honestly, I feel like I could use a lot of like what I've learned in college and my research and whatnot, and I would thrive in that environment. It'd be a ton of fun. And hopefully there would be the underlying assumption throughout the entire series that even though things kind of get crazy, there's at least just a general optimism that we're finally getting out into space and we're not stuck on this stupid planet.
Aliens.
Well, aliens...
Anyway.
I thought you meant the movie, and I'm like, no, aliens is more far.
Oh, no. I'm talking about, like, the actual, the concept of aliens.
Well, I'll bring that up. So far future stuff like Star Trek most definitely is an example, or Alien/Aliens, or
Contact.
I'm trying to think of some other...
Contact from Robert Zemeckis. I don't know if anybody
is that
here.
Far future or near future though?
Actually, it was present day for the time, but like it felt very.
Okay,
yeah. No, that's a bad
so
example.
That would be
Never
near
mind.
future in that case.
Never mind.
But like, I'll use these two examples because they'll work. Star Trek is fun and pretty great, but it's so far ahead in the future that a lot of current modern concepts just don't exist. Like for one thing, you can blame it on the technology that they made for the show. But like in Star Trek, they don't have, say, headphones or like TV screens. There's a whole culture that's evolved past that. And while it makes for an interesting setting, I'd just be so disoriented, really, that I probably would spend a lot of time just trying to get used to things, and I'd have to play a lot of catch up. It'd be frustrating. Like, say, Alien, for example, kind of goes the opposite direction. The way that the Nostromo and the other, set pieces and factions are structured, everything's sort of, deteriorated in a really negative, pessimistic direction, which makes for a great movie, but I would not love to live in that environment. I recently watched Alien again with my dad, and my goodness, I'd be one of the first to go. So, sign me out.
Yep, yeah. I feel like that goes for all four of us here.
Yeah, that'll be one of our TPQs in the future. Which one of us is most likely to survive a horror film? Not Trev, because he can't finish one.
Okay.
Oh!
I thought you were gonna say
a worthy
I thought you were gonna say a xenomorph specifically, but then you took it there. All right,
That
fine.
hurt.
A
Well,
xenomorph could finish a horror film.
I'm not gonna let you continue, and I'm gonna go ahead and do my pick, which I think I would have to say an 80s comedy film. I was gonna say 80s action because I love Indiana Jones and other action films from the like Die Hard.
Dude,
and
you
stuff.
die so quick.
Okay, thanks, man. Like you do any better.
Oh no, I die
Loving
instantly.
and supportive
That's
environment.
part of the reason I didn't pick it was because 80s action, action in general is just pretty sketch in terms of survivability, not only of the characters themselves, but also the stunt actors behind them. And 80s action was super sketch. There were definitely not as many safety protocols in place for a lot of that stuff. So, yeah, that would be a bit of an issue. I'm not physically fit enough for that type of stuff. So, I would love to do, any 80s comedy sort of film. Stuff from John Hughes. I love all of his stuff, Ferris Bueller, 16 Candles, Breakfast Club, Weird Science, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles even. That would be being in that sort of scenario with Sam. I see that, I could see that exact same scenario playing out between Sam and I as it did between John Candy and Steve Martin.
I actually haven't seen it, so I'll take that to heart.
Trev?
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm pretty sure you could see where both of us would fit into the which character would fit who.
I have a
think you could
feeling
figure that
I
out
will
pretty early on.
be. I have a feeling I'll be. What noise did my dog just make? Is she talking?
Or was it even
The
a
world
dog?
may never know.
God, if she's talking, I'm definitely dying. Yeah. Sorry.
Not again.
Got distracted. She's talking again.
I got one thing to say, Trev, to your point. The why you would pick 80s action movie. Have you seen the old Schwarzenegger movie, The Last Action Hero?
I haven't seen it, but I've heard very good things.
It's very whack. There's some moments where it gets beyond weird and crazy, but it's basically what you mentioned about just the 80s action genre being just a whole mess.
Mhm.
All your thoughts kind of condensed into one movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger and his almost like incomprehensible line delivery, shall we say. My goodness.
All right, Marcus, how about you?
All right, for mine, I have two. The first one, I would say, would be like the spy genre.
Some Mission Impossible type action. I like it.
Yeah, dude.
Like James Bond?
Yeah, something like that.
Mission
I think that
Impossible's
Second
better.
Life would be kind of nice, but the way I would envision my own story is like I fake my own death, and then I'm like, okay, I gotta go save the world now. Like
I fake my own death.
it's my basically it's my way of running away from responsibilities.
By
Second
running
Life.
into more responsibilities that are on a little
Yes.
global and
because-
like countrywide. Okay, yeah, check. Sure.
No,
sure.
because
Sure, that
because
checks
like
out.
no. Think of it this way. I care too much for my friends,
Mm-hmm.
Aw.
Aw, care too
and
much about
so
us.
I hate you
kinda just
too.
want to. I hate you so much, Sam. I wish you just go die in a hole in a
Oh
corner
my
somewhere.
No!
I mean, I think the same thing, but I at least
That
don't
could
say
be
it to his
arranged.
face. Damn.
My goodness!
God.
We're all
Okay,
friends. Let's get this clear.
are we though? No,
Are
I'm
we
joking. I'm
really
joking. We're all
though?
friends.
This-
But yeah,
this
no,
throws
like I
all
just
that
want
theory into question.
I just want my friends to live all my friends and family to live long and happy lives. That's really it. So if the spy money could like be like hella Gucci, you know,
Hella Gucci.
good stuff right there.
Hella
Hella
Gucci.
Gucci.
I'm putting that in quotes.
My
Mhm.
goodness.
And then my second one would probably be romance drama.
That's a stark contrast.
Well, I don't know. You seen some of the old James Bond movies?
Because like
That's fair.
I feel like that's like the last thing, or like for me, I like to experience a lot of things in my life,
Mhm.
and love and romance is not yet one of them on the list. So I would really like that.
Join
to
the
be on
club.
list.
Join the club.
And you know, I would like to improve my relationship skills with people, communication.
hmm Completely fair, and I think that's felt by about 99% of the people listening anyway. So.
God, you
You
gotta
realize,
call
If
out.
you're not careful, you might end up in a Hallmark Christmas special.
Ooh,
Are you willing to take the
yeah.
risk?
I mean,
That's painful.
you get some
Well,
hella.
pay
You get
for
you
the
get hella
audience,
Gucci
not so much
money.
for the protagonist.
Hella Gucci money,
You
yeah,
get
exactly.
the Moochie, the money would be hella Gucci. Okay,
This is gonna become a thing, isn't it? Hella Gucci.
it's
Yes,
it
that's
is.
my thing now.
You have Hello Kitty, and then you have Hella Gucci.
I hate you so much. Okay, let's transition into what I would pick. I'm gonna do parody.
Yes,
I'm gonna
I
do.
need more
I
Dr.
expected
Scar
either war
films.
drama or cyberpunk. I honestly
So-
expected either one of those.
I expected
I was
Cyberpunk, yeah.
I was debating back and forth. I was gonna pick noir because that's kind of like
That too, yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
That's your shtick.
So mine would be either noir or parody, two completely different sides of the film spectrum. But hear me out. I would do noir, but it's kind of like everybody has secrets in it. Everybody has secrets. And it's kind of like it is today. So it's not really that different. So that's why I didn't pick noir, because I mean it's everything's still the same. Everybody smokes. Everybody has secrets. Everybody's hella sexist. You know, that kind of thing.
Everybody smokes. Everybody has secrets. Everybody is hella sexist. That's
And Hello Gucci.
and hella Gucci. But I would do parody. Hang on, I'm gonna do parody just because, dude, you can be just as stupid
scary.
and
Scary movie 2. That's what you're gonna
Oh
do.
no, I'm thinking like
No!
Hot Shots. I'm thinking like Hot Shots Part 2, Top Secret, Airplane, just really movies where it's
Shaun
like
of the Dead.
Shaun, yeah. Is that
So-
Shaun of the
is
Dead's
that
definitely a zombie parody. It just happens to be a really smartly written one.
I'm just
that's-
thinking like really
yeah,
insanely
I guess it's
goofy.
wow.
Insanely goofy parodies. Because have you guys seen Hot Shots? Any of the Hot Shots movies? Any of them?
Nope.
I don't believe I have.
No.
Dude, they are
haven't
so like. There's a part in the second one where it's like we're gonna do things the old Navy way. First guy to die loses. And that's the kind of thing that I like, is just the absurdity of it. Like at one point he kills a guy with a banana just by, like, they're going back and forth, like, trying to kill each other with it. And he takes a bite of it and then punches him and then stabs him with it. It's just so absurd that it fits my personality, where I'd be like, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah. So I'd have to go parody, because I think you would never get bored.
Yo,
you would literally,
you'd
keep a straight, you'd be, like, you would stay a straight face the entire time.
Yo, what?
It would be amazing. And it'd be exactly
It's
like
so
I am with you guys. It would be just out of the air, random, like, throw stuff at a wall, see what sticks. I would be there for it. I'd be there for it so much. Seriously, for anybody who's listening, and you three right here, go watch Hot Shots Part 2, Airplane 2, and Top Secret.
Okay.
Don't watch them with your parents, though. Or be over the age of, 18 or 16, depending on what country you live.
Viewer discretion advised.
Yeah, viewer discretion advised on these movies.
Better safe than sorry.
Sorry, guys.
Yes, it has Shaun of the Dead listed here as a parody film. But also, you know what else? What else falls into that bridge of a parody film?
I'm gonna guess Hot Fuzz.
Well, yes, by virtue, it does. Shrek. Sam is Shrek.
Yeah, I can
Sam
see
is
that.
Shrek.
My
Sam is
goodness.
Shrek confirmed.
Get
Oh
out.
my god.
I mean,
Get out of my swamp.
I do like my swamp.
No. Trev, what have you done?
Oh my god.
You know what this means? Every DreamWorks ripoff of Disney in the early 2000s counts as a parody, including Shark Tale.
It does.
No!
Shark Tale is a parody of Finding Nemo.
Stop.
It's a very horrible movie, very poorly acted. I can't get Will Smith's horrible fish face out of my head, but
Hey,
it is
he
a
is
parody.
a nice lady. Anyway.
We're ruining our viewers' innocence right now. Stop.
Also,
My
funny
goodness.
enough, it has the Lego
Maybe
Batman
subscribe
movie
to that
listed
movie.
as parody. And
Yes, absolutely.
and Knives Out, which I understand why they listed as parody, but it really isn't. It's just kind of that's like where I kind of feel Shaun of the Dead falls into the same. It's that same sort of gray area of it's not so much parody as it is just a very different take on the what's the word, like the conventions of the genre. I don't know. That's a pretty interesting gray area that would be cool to have a conversation about, but that will be for another time if we ever even consider talking about it.
Fun fact: Neil Breen is a parody of himself.
Neil Breen is just his own thing. I am not gonna be in a Neil Breen.
Is his own thing.
I am not gonna be in a Neil Breen movie because he'd be like, I can't believe you shot yourself. Dude, he didn't. Do you see?
The line delivery is
just in the background of every single.
I can't believe you killed yourself.
I can't believe. Be like, I'd be in the background going, what is happening right now? Does anybody see this? Is he having a
You
stroke?
know what? I take it back. The genre I want to live in is the
It's
world
just Neil
of the
Breen
almighty
movies.
Breen. I want to be a real human Breen, okay?
You have three things you have
No.
to do with every movie. You have to have some kind of weird science that you can't explain. You have to be an intense hacker. You have to get four things. You have to get all the chicks. And lastly, you have to focus on all the corruption in the world. That's 5 things.
That is a success story to a Neil Breen film.
I think the 5th one's gonna destroy some laptops too, but
Yeah,
his
laptops.
budget went down.
Laptops are
Yeah.
also in that.
Point being, I am utterly prepared to become a real human Breen.
Oh my god.
God help us
And
all.
on that note, thank you for listening to this episode of the Frame100 podcast. If you have any thoughts on any of the topics we discussed, minus anything that was mentioned in the last 2 minutes, please leave a comment or tag us on Twitter with #Frame100podcast. We'd also like to thank Lots Toast for the awesome theme music. Go check out his channel and support his work. If you want to hear more from us, you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Until then, stay tuned for our next episode and keep brick filming.